everyone, it's me, Krista. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. Today we are using the items that came in the March 2021 Paletteful Packs Box. And since one of the prompts was cactus, I decided to draw a Cactoid from Final Fantasy XII, specifically the one with the flower on top of its head. For the sketch, I am just using a peach pastel pencil. It's a General's one. I start pulling in the Copic Opaque white on the areas that I want to be white, which would include the eyes, the mouth, and a little bit of the stem on top of its head. Then I start pulling in the green Posca pen to start coloring in our little Cactoid here. I do also pull in the Aqua Posca pen. I was originally going to try mixing the green and this together with using the brush that came in the kit, but it does not seem to work too well, and I figured with the pens I might as well just go for a more graphic and flat image anyway, especially because it'll work really well for the subject matter, making it look a little bit cuter, a little more cartoony. I did have to layer up the green quite a bit. It was pretty streaky. It is difficult to cover large areas with these markers unless you empty out the marker itself and apply it with a brush. The paint itself isn't very opaque. It's a lot thinner, so that's easier to apply in the form that it comes in, which is the marker here. I do cheat and pull in a black paint Sharpie. It's just a water-based acrylic marker, just to help fill in some of the lines that got lost when I was applying the paint. I'll also use it to help sharpen up edges. While I allow the green to dry in between layers, I start applying the pink onto the flower, and then I add the green to the other arm. To use the yellow, I decided to pull some into the tips of the flower petals there. And I keep on relayering the green areas. Like with any paint marker, you do have to stop intermittently and kind of shake it up and press down the tip to ensure that you get more paint flowing through. I did use the aqua to bring in some highlights to the body area. My lines are a little shaky here. I do end up fixing that quite a bit off camera later. I just fix that by pulling in the different markers themselves. You do want to make sure that you have them dry in between, because if you don't let them dry, they'll just mix together and muddy up. The hardest part for me to figure out where to use it was the pastels that came in this month's box. I decided to use the brown towards the bottom of the Cactoid, specifically its body and its little arms there, and I used the red towards the bottom of the pink flower. I do also pull the red into the background a little bit later. I start bringing in a couple of lines into the background because I felt that otherwise it would be too plain and too boring, but before I finish that background, I start pulling in the little spikes that our little Cactoid should have. It is a little cactus after all. I did its little thorns just using the green marker for now. At this point, I just want to make sure they're physically there before I start working more on that background. For the background, I'm just going to be doing a lot of yellow lines and some dots. I'm not making sure they're straight, and I actually end up pulling in some marker really loosely on top of it to give the illusion of a little bit of shading. I'm also making sure the lines are different lengths that follow around the shape of the Cactoid itself. I think these things are so cute. I love the look on their face of just this pure existential dread. They look a little silly, and I love it. That's one of the things I adore about Final Fantasy games. Some of the monsters are really cool and really scary, and some are just cute and derpy, and sometimes the cutest and derpiest ones are the scariest ones. Think of a Toneberry. Or a Cactuar. I pull back in that black paint Sharpie to help even out certain areas and to define my lines quite a bit more, especially with the thorns. I want them to look sharp and pokey and scaly, and some of them were looking a little blunt. I think I mentioned this in my last video. For larger pieces like this is 8x10, so it's a little bit larger than what I've normally been doing, because I normally do 4x6 pieces. I like to flip around the paper so it's easier for me to gain access to certain points of the drawing or painting. It helps me not strain my back or hand as much, and it's also nice because you get to see the drawing or painting from multiple perspectives. For the delicate white lines you see, I pulled in a white gel pen, specifically a Uniball Signo one. I finally got new gel pens, yay! I wanted to make sure, especially on the outline of the Cactoid, that I had some nice bright white lines so that it contrasted a little bit more with the black paper. I pull in more of the red pastel over the background just to pull in a little bit more color. I did work a little bit more on it off camera. I had this problem where I leave it on my desk, so it's constantly staring at me, and occasionally when I work on it more, I just forget to turn the camera back on. All I really did was just clean up the lines a little bit by just using the different markers we've already pulled in. And I also pulled in a half circle of the aqua behind the eyes, so you get a continuous line, then a half circle, and then more line. I actually had a lot of fun doing this one. It made me laugh quite a bit. I think it turned out kind of cute and kind of creepy at the same time. But with that, this project and therefore this video are pretty much done. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, feelings, concerns, or you've used any of the items that came in this month's box, let me know all about that in the comment section down below. If you would like to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. I do art subscription box unboxings and a bunch of projects throughout the months. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day or night to watch this video and listen to me ramble. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and you will definitely be hearing from me soon. Bye, everybody!